no need to apologize. Jordan Grace kind of teased something on Tuesday with her gear and saying NXT TNA. If Jordan Grace wins the NXT Women's title, we have a
Jordan Grace wins the NXT Women's title. WWE have bought TNA.
They can't.
They can't buy TNA. There's a section in the clause where it says that WWE can't buy TKO can't buy a competitive wrestling organization. Endeavor can't buy a competitive wrestling organization. And in that article, they specifically named TNA as a competitive thing, as a competitive promotion. So they can't they would have to redo everything, and WWE and TNA and Endeavor would all have to agree to amend that section of the contract. And that wouldn't be able to happen without voter shares, and that kind of shit would become public knowledge that they were amending the closing documents of that specific business juncture, because it was a $20 billion deal when they closed. Like, I've been following that really closely, Temple. That's why I say that, is because that's something I've been researching and writing on for a minute.
If she wins tonight, we at least know there's a partnership.
Exactly. We know the partnership is a lot more intense than what they've led on TV if she wins tonight. And when we get to we've got a segment towards the end of the show where we're going to make Al predict Battleground. Al, when was the last time you watched NXT?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's why this is going to be so good. You guys got match of the week for us? Now we're here. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. What's your match of the week?
Mine is Nick Nemeth versus Frankie Kazarian this week on TNA Wrestling from Thursday night. It was two guys that are very skilled at their craft going out there just fucking going. They're doing a real good job of building Nemeth to look viable, but I'm glad they didn't immediately throw the strap on them. And I'm glad that's something TNA does when they bring these. Yes, I know Mustafa Ali is the exception to the rule, but most of these guys that'll come in from different companies, they don't immediately throw a title on you. You kind of go through TNA's earn it, like get some reps.
I'm actually going to tag team with you on that because one, last night on Smacking It Raw, I brought up a couple things that I was spitting and swallowing from TNA, and everything I think for the most part was swallows this week. I don't think there was a lot from TNA I didn't like. One of them was that match, the Nick Nemeth match at the end of it with Frankie Kazarian. It was the perfect way to close the 20th anniversary. So I completely agree with you. But my match of the week, ironically, was a tag team match from that show because of the story it's building to against all odds. And that was Speedball Mountain versus Mustafa Ali and Campaign Singh, because Mustafa hasn't had a loss since leaving WWE. And this build up to him and Trent Seven for the X Division title is wild to me, because they built it to where he's been able to escape defeat this whole time. And now the last week before the pay-per-view, everything's getting built up. The last time they're going to see each other pretty much in a ring is the first time Mustafa takes an L. So I think this is the first time where it's like, oh shit, there's a break in the armor. You know what I mean? Like, Ali himself has potential to take the loss and lose the X Division title and put Trent Seven over. So that's why I picked that match, is because it was a great tag team match. It was fun to watch. Speedball Mike Bailey's a fucking beast. But in reality, I think that the bigger story coming out of that show was what happened with Trent Seven and Mustafa Ali. Thank you for the gift, Anonymous, heading to Dad Hat Wrestling. We love Dad Hat, my brother from World Championship Wreckage. Al, your turn. What you got for us? Did you really watch any wrestling this week?
It was on.
That counts. Fair.
It's been a busy week. I am going to pick, just because I'm interested about where this story is going, the New Day versus AOP.
Ooh, that's a good call.
I'm curious because, the New Day, much like the Street Profits have said, that they will never like break up. So I'm curious to see if they're actually changing that tune or where this is going.
I also brought that up last night because I said that I wasn't sure, because this whole time, everything New Day's done up until this point in their entire careers, they've said we're not breaking up, right? So to me, them teasing it now and making it seem like it might be a real life thing, like it's like undecided. Like, do I really feel like this is it? Is this when the New Day breaks up? Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I want to see it because Xavier and Kofi would be a fucking hella good match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, without a doubt. But like, I'm still not 100% sure if I'm ready for it to happen in my heart of hearts. Bo, how would you feel about it if New Day breaks up because of this Karrion Kross angle? We got some from the chat, guys. I'm going to get to yours in just a second. Go ahead, Bo. Sorry.
I'd be okay with it. I mean, they've had a great run together. It's not like there's no complaints you'll get from me about their run as a tag team and as a faction. But seeing a Kofi and Xavier match would be good. Xavier's always been kind of like a tag team guy. I'd like to see him go single.
I think Xavier is the one missing piece of that puzzle that obviously that hasn't had a world title run yet. And I feel like, he had the King of the Ring, which was cool, but it didn't really fill that void. I think Xavier needs at least an IC or US title run. He deserves it. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's missing from it. And I don't think he'll ever have a shot at being the world champion as long as New Day is together, because Big E and Kofi are just infinitely times bigger stars. And that's really unfortunate to be the third best member of a generational tag team. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Going through the chat some. Dad Hat chimed in, get receipts from these interactions in real life. I will be in Cleveland. I'm just throwing that out there for everybody. Jordan Grace teased something on Tuesday. We checked in on that one. Temple wants Obi Femi to win. He's tricking Obi for the title. Trick called up to the main roster. I think that might be a possibility. When we get to the NXT stuff, Temple, we'll talk about that. Sheamus Ludwig Kaiser. X, he's saying that Chris Bay was teasing facing NXT tag champions Axiom and Nathan Frazier. I think there's a small chance we might see more TNA crossover. Karrion Kross is working New Day for mind games purposes to get ahead. I don't think the New Day breaks up. So Mike thinks it's all a story. They're just teasing it, but it won't actually happen. All good thoughts. Al, you ready?